and welcome back to my nail corner. I have my brand new Triple D e-file out today. Look how beautiful. I love the chrome ombre effect on this. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous e-file. That knob on the top just clicks on and then adjusts your speed. So that's super convenient, and it's a nice stable knob. I really like that. It doesn't feel breakable because I'm kind of rough on things. On the side there is a pause and play button, and then the other end of that button is reverse. So that changes your speed, or not your speed, the direction of the e-file spinning, reverse and forward. So that's super handy. I really like the pause function. I find that really convenient to be able to pause it, set the handle down, and then come back and not have to adjust my speed. Just hit play and I'm right back where I started. These are the e-file bits that come with it. They're a really nice selection. That one on the far left would hold any of those sanding, I don't know what you call those, sanding sleeves, and those are great. So I already had bits that I was using out, and so I'm going to use those today, but any bits that you prefer, you can use with this e-file. It fits the standard bits. I have these carbide bits, and they're a little bit toothier, so they're really great for like a removal. If you like to file down your color to your builder gel base, then those are great. These are some diamond bits that I like to use. They're very gentle, so if you're new to an e-file, the bits that came with this are fantastic, and then these are just two other diamond bits that I have on hand that I like to use, and they are, like I said, very gentle, super user-friendly, so when you're like bumping up against your cuticle or anything, you're not going to cut yourself when using those at a nice moderate speed. So I highly recommend diamond bits for a new e-file user. The e-file also comes with this really nice rest for the handset, which is really, I like that because I've definitely set my handset for my other e-file down on my desk and had it roll off, and I've actually bent an e-file bit that way because it hit the ground on the bit and then it bent, and then my bit was useless because you want to, like you turn it on and it's spinning wobbly instead of like it's supposed to. So anyway, a hand rest is really, really nice for your hand set. So that is something that comes with this e-file, and I thought that was really great. So I have my Melody Susie dust collector out. I love using a dust collector, especially when doing any filing with builder gel, because it's such a fine dust that it creates. So if you don't have a dust collector, this is a great one, and I'll try to link it in the description box below if I remember. And if I forget and you're interested, just drop me a comment and I will get that link for you. So I have builder gel on my nails right now, and I am ready for a fill, which was perfect timing because this month's Diva box came with the builder gel in a bottle, and I was super excited to try that and then demonstrate it for you guys. So as you could see, as I was trying to point out there, you can tell the difference between where my natural nail is and where the builder gel is. I know people get real nervous, and you should be somewhat nervous, or at least cautious, I guess is the better word, about filing around your natural nail. You really don't want to file your natural nail at all. Having builder gel on it is a really nice protective measure, and so when you're filing down to do a fill, just notice that it's basically white where the actual product is on your nail, and your natural nail is not going to look the same. So don't be too concerned. You'll be able to tell the difference, especially in person. So I am just taking this gentle diamond bit. I'm filing down the surface to get the glossy top coat off of my builder gel because I have gel top coat over it. And then also just taking down some of the bulk and making that transition from any of my builder gel to my natural nail really smooth. I personally wear a really thin layer of builder gel. That is just a personal preference. Everybody does it a little bit differently. I like it to be very, very thin because then once I add dip powder on top of it, I don't want it too bulky. So you can add as many layers or as much thickness of builder gel as you prefer, but I like it really thin. So when I'm doing a fill, I like to go down and take it, see how thin that is. I like it to be as thin as possible before I do a fill because obviously I'm about to add a layer. So I basically try to take a layer away and keep it that thin. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So I am going to continue to e-file this off, and then I'm going to show you guys how I do a fill. If you have any questions about this process, please make sure to drop them in the comments below, because I'll try to cover them next time I do this sort of video. But that's what I'm here for, to answer your questions. So this is what works for me. Also, when you're using an e-file, make sure you're letting the e-file do the work for you. Like, I don't know if you can tell by watching it in a video, but I'm not really putting any pressure. Maybe you can tell by the way I'm holding the e-file, like it's not really the best, I don't know, like it's not a strong hold on the e-file handset, because I'm letting the e-file do the work for me. I'm kind of just guiding it over the nail where I want it to go, but your e-file should be doing the work for you. You shouldn't have to be putting a lot of pressure on the nail or on the product or anything like that. And I find that helps, just because if you're putting pressure down, like you might get like a gouge out of your product, which is less of an issue when you're removing product, more when you're like shaping your new dip powder application. You don't want to like get a divot in it, but you do want to, you don't want to be putting a bunch of pressure on when you're removing product either, because you could hit your natural nail, and you don't want to do that, especially with any amount of force. So again, I highly recommend diamond bits. They're great for especially a beginner with an e-file, but I've been using an e-file for a while now, and I still really like to use them, especially in this context when I'm going to be dealing so closely with my natural nail. So I'm going to speed through some of this because it's really repetitive. I have 5 fingers and I'm going to do the same thing. I might actually skip ahead here, and we'll get into some application in just a second. Alright, so I went ahead and filed down the rest of the builder gel on all of my nails, and then I just scrubbed with a bristled brush and water in the sink just to get rid of as much dust as possible. This is Blue Cross Cuticle Remover and Softener. I get it on Amazon. It comes in a bottle, and I put it in like one of these cuticle oil brush tip pens that I also bought on Amazon. I'll make sure these things are linked in my Amazon storefront if you want them. Because the cuticle remover is very, very liquidy, and so I find it applies easiest in a brush tip pen like that. So these are the tools that I like to use just to prep my nails for a new application of builder gel. So this is just a cuticle pusher, and then the other one is a glass cuticle pusher. It just has like a little bit of a porous edge to it. So after I apply the cuticle softener, I just go around very gently with the cuticle pusher and just try to remove any cuticle from my natural nail on the top, on the surface there, and then really just like any product that might be left over from e-filing or anything like that. There's not a lot, what you're seeing, like I'm demonstrating, but there's not a lot coming off my nail because I am constantly doing my nails. So the cuticle is removed from my nails pretty regularly, so you won't see a lot of it. But if you're somebody that's new to this process, or you just haven't been using a cuticle softener and remover before, you might see a lot of kind of like white gunk coming off, because this cuticle remover does a really good job, and that's what you want. You want the surface of your nail to be totally bare of anything, because you want the product to adhere really well to your nail surface. If it doesn't, if it's adhering to invisible cuticle on top of your nail, then that's going to contribute to lifting, and nobody's got time for that, because then you're going to have to like redo it, or you're going to get moisture trapped under there, and then you're going to get like what they call a greenie, which is like a fungus on your nail, and like nobody wants that. So just do these little steps to make sure that you get a nice solid application to your natural nail and not to any like cuticle or anything excess on your nail. So I am going to finish that up with the cuticle pusher, and then I like this glass cuticle pusher because it has a nice pointy end. It makes it really easy to get around the edges, and again, it's really gentle. Like it might look like a bit of a harsh tool, but it's not. You can really very gently exfoliate the skin around your nail and then also on the nail surface with this tool. So I really like that. And if you don't have one, I highly recommend. I also like to use this after I apply dip powder, and that helps me really clean up that cuticle line. So after you dip and like file and buff and all those things, I like to use the pointy end of this cuticle pusher to just kind of go around that cuticle line and make sure I get any excess product off of my nail, and it really lends for like a very clean look. So these are just lint-free wipes. You can use a paper towel, you can use whatever, and rubbing alcohol. And I like to use that to just clean off the surface before I go in with my application, because you know, even the cuticle remover being left on your nail, you don't want any of that on the surface of your nail because it can mess with the adherence of your product. So yeah, that's my recommendation. That just kind of cleans everything off and gives you a fresh start. Now, what I like to use under my builder gel is a bonding agent. So Young Nails is that little white one. It's a Young Nail Protein Bond or Mia Secret Extra Bond. Those are great for under gel products. They are linked in my Amazon storefront below also. I find both of them work really well, so either or, whatever you can get your hands on, I highly recommend under a gel product. These are different than a prep or dehydrator for under dip products. I want to emphasize that because I see a lot of people saying I used, a pH bond under my builder gel and it popped right off. It's not the same. So a pH prep or a dehydrator, that's all they are. They're basically rubbing alcohol and maybe acetone combined to dehydrate your nail. And that's great for under dip powder because you don't want oils under there. But that's not the same as a bonding agent for a gel product. These, after you apply, now I'm doing 2 coats of this, not fully necessary, but I usually do 2 just to make sure I got everywhere on my nail surface. If I were to touch this after I was done, it's tacky. It has like a sticky finish. And I'm gonna go in with my gel base now, another essential step under builder gel. So builder gel needs to have gel base down in order to have a solid adherence to your nail. Your gel base is essential. So again, I highly recommend using a bonding agent like Young Nails Protein Bond or Mia Secret Extra Bond, and then your gel base. You can get away without the bonding agent. I've done it, but my use for builder gel is as a base for my nail under peel base and then dip powder. And I was finding that when I tried to pop off my dip powder, like when I was a couple days after a mani and I was ready to switch it out, if I was popping off that dip powder, I was finding I was getting some lifting of my builder gel. And then you end up having to file that lifting down and fill in the fill in that area. And once I started using a bonding agent, I had that problem never. Like not at all. It just never lifts. I'm not having any problem. In fact, like I soaked off my builder gel recently and it was like a very lengthy process for me. So that being said, builder gel stays put if you put a bonding agent under it, and that's what I want it to do. So I highly recommend. So I'm just going in with my gel base application, and then I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds, and then we're going to get into builder gel. So I will be back in just a second. So I have my gel base on and it is cured, and this is the brand new builder gel in a bottle from Triple D. This came in the anniversary box that was released this month to a select 400 people, and I was so excited to see this. Look at the gorgeous pink color. It's really pretty and it's a really nice consistency. So I would say it's thinner than the builder gel in a pot, and I would say it has to be. That's just my assessment, but like it just has to be in order to come out on the brush like that. So this is the pink builder gel in the pot, and I wanted to compare the colors for you guys so you could see the difference, just to have an idea what it looks like. So I'd say it's a warmer toned pink. So the builder gel in the pot is like a cool toned pink, and this is like a warmer kind of peachy pink, which if you've heard me talk about it before, with my olive skin tone, I love like a warm toned pink. To me, that's like Delicate from Sparkle & Co., that like warm toned pink versus like the cool toned Erica from Rebel. Like that's kind of the difference between these two, to my eye anyway. So I just got like a little bit on the brush, and I'm just gonna apply it to my nail. I mean, it's this simple. I feel silly kind of making a tutorial out of it, but I know if you've never used it before, then maybe you're like unsure of anything you should watch out for. So I just made sure there was a little bit on my brush. I'm applying it just like I would my gel base or gel top coat, and then once I have it on the nail, I'm going to put my hand upside down and let it hang out for about 10 seconds. Sorry that my camera keeps going in and out of focus. I don't know what's going on, but I will try to stay in focus for you guys. So look at how smooth that transition is from where I filed down to fill. Like you can't even see a transition. So I'm going to hang my hand upside down, and that allows gravity to do its job and form the apex of my nail. And then I flash cure for 10 or 12 seconds in between. So I like to do one nail at a time personally, because gel is still going to be like, this sounds silly to say, gel is fluid. Yes, it's fluid. So if I was allowing all 4 of my fingers to just kind of sit there flat, then I might see a little bit more of like the gel kind of sliding to the sidewalls of my nails versus that apex that I just created by hanging my hand upside down. So hopefully that makes sense. So I like to do one nail at a time, hang it upside down for a couple of seconds, like 5 to 10 seconds. I don't really count, I just hang it there for a minute, and then pop it in the lamp for 10 to 12 seconds, and that is a flash cure. So that's not fully curing the gel on my nails, but it is curing it long enough that it's gonna stay put. Like I don't have to worry about it sliding to the sidewalls and creating like bulk there where I don't want it. So hopefully that makes sense. I get a lot of questions about like the apex of the nail, and this is really all I do. So I find it really valuable to take your time when you're doing your builder gel. If you're using this for a base under your dip powder, this is where you want to spend your time. If your shape under your dip powder is really nice and has a great apex, you don't have to worry so much about shaping your dip powder every time you apply your dip powder. So this is where you want to spend your time. If you want to skip your dip powder mani for the day, focus on getting your builder gel right, then all of your dip powder manis are just going to apply that much more smoothly. So I'm going to go through all of these. Of course, it's repetitive and I'm going to speed it up a little bit for you guys, but I just did want to include all 5 fingers in here, and then I'm going to pop back in at the end and give you guys some final thoughts. So here is the finished hand. So I just did the fill on this one hand, and I really like the way it turned out. Again, focusing, there we go. So you can see the apex of my nail. It's kind of like a nice swoop across the middle, and it's just like a nice warm tone but still transparent pink. So I love this. I love this builder gel in a bottle so much. And for those of you who didn't get the box, I should have mentioned this will be available on the website, I believe, next week. So stay tuned for that. You're going to want to get your hands on some. It was so easy to do a fill with this. I can't even tell you. So as you can tell, I'm going right in with my gel top coat. I prefer a gel top coat over my builder gel, and that allows me to pop off my dip powder with peel base super easily. That's my preference. You don't have to do it. You could at this point have just wiped the tacky layer off the top of the builder gel. If you felt like any of your surface needed filing, that's what I would have done. I would have taken an alcohol lint-free wipe, wiped off the tacky layer, done any filing and buffing that I wanted. You could finish there. Then if you don't want to and you want your top coat shiny, you could go in with your gel base and then gel top coat. You've got a lot of options at that point, but honestly, using the builder gel in a bottle to do my fill, I had no need for filing the surface and shaping it. It was like perfect, and it was such an easy product to work with. So highly recommend getting the builder gel in a bottle when it releases next week from Triple D. And if you already have it in hand, you lucky duck, this is how you use it. So I'm going to finish up like I do every mani. I'm going to use my Candi Skincare Cuticle Oil. That is going to hydrate my cuticles and keep them healthy after I did a bunch of filing and buffing and used rubbing alcohol and things that would dry out my skin. I want to keep them hydrated and healthy. And so that is what I use my Candi Skincare for. And if you need a discount code for them, there is one in the box below. So drop me a comment. Let me know if you got your hands on the anniversary box, what you thought, and also if you've tried out this builder gel in a bottle, or if you're going to be on the site as soon as it releases and grabbing some for yourself. So stay tuned, watch out in the Triple D group and on Instagram, and we will keep you posted as soon as this is ready to release to the shop. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys in my next vid. Bye now.